Today, I have an extremely special guest. And all right, this is someone that I absolutely admire. I love his down-to-earth, honest, and kind of direct style of storytelling. As a TV producer myself, I've always kind of like looked up to his ability to just tell the real stories about everyday Americans and do it like comfortably, without a lot of pizzazz, but yet it's just like full of heart. So he's here with his new film, Something to Stand For, which takes us through some of like America's most pivotal historical moments. So let's welcome him to the show, Mr. Mike Rowe. How are you,
Wow. Oh, Dan, that's the kind of intro that, I mean, you set the bar so high. I really don't know how I'm going to do anything other than disappoint your listeners, but I'm gonna try and bring my A-, B+ game right here and see what happens.
I'm in. We'll see how this goes. Honestly, your storytelling has always been about like highlighting those that aren't always the center of attention and seeing kind of some charm in what they do. Was there a different approach that you took while trying to tell historical stories for Something to Stand For?
Well, I guess maybe a little bit. You know, for me, I think about dirty jobs and somebody's got to do it and returning the favor and all the projects I've been involved in. And they're all kind of the same in the sense that I'm just tapping the country on the shoulder and saying, hey, what about him? What about her? Get a load of that, right? It's normally either a person who's laboring out of sight and therefore out of mind, but doing something that benefits all of us. Or somebody who's been misunderstood or maybe unfairly portrayed for any number of reasons. So the movie is absolutely in line with that thing that I've been doing. It's different in the sense that everything I've done on TV historically has been no second takes. You know, it's not scripted. There's no casting. You know, Dirty Jobs was just fly on the wall. What you're looking at right now is obvious cinematography. Everything is very scripted, very intentional. And this movie has 9 of those recreations in it. They're actually mysteries that were written in the style of The Rest of the Story, that old Paul Harvey radio show that was so popular. So, you know, you got 9 mysteries, each one about 9 minutes long, stitched together with a trip to D.C. And I go back there to visit some of the statuary and the memorials and the monuments that I first visited when I was a kid on my first field trip to the National Mall. So put it all together and you've got something that I've never seen before. It's a movie for sure, but it's not a documentary and it's not Saving Private Ryan. It's something in between.
And the film kind of delves into events from American Revolution to Civil Rights Movement. How did you decide what stories to feature and what was like the process of bringing them to kind of life?
Well, the most important thing in this format, in my opinion anyway, is to entertain. It has to, there has to be something fundamentally in the center of the story that makes you go, what? Really? I didn't know that. And after that, I just simply wanted to make sure that I was telling a story that would aid a sense of gratitude. Like the point of wanting to do this was to say to conservatives and liberals, Republicans and Democrats, that, yeah, we might be divided on a whole bunch of issues in a lot of different ways, but I think I can show you some things, and I think I can introduce you to some people that we can all agree are still worth standing for. So it's a unifying message. It's a family film. It is PG-13 because, you know, history is not always that pretty, but it's honest. And I do think it's a good thing to do on the occasion of our independence.
All right, as you probably figured by now, I'm a huge fan of your work. And honestly, I've even tried to Let's just say I've produced a few shows that were, and how do I say blatant ripoffs without actually saying the words blatant ripoff?
Oh, no, I don't mind.
They were inspired.
No, I'm flattered.
So I once did a show that was like Dirty Jobs, but I replaced the jobs part with weird and unusual hobbies, and I had my host try them out and be like that fish out of the water feel. And kind of see why people were passionate about doing what they do. The final product wasn't exactly what I originally pitched, since all these other producers, higher-ups, and all those people got involved. But
Sure.
Here's my question. If some low-rent TV producer from New Mexico were to attempt something like that again, what advice would you give that producer or any other storyteller out there about how to get that same level of authenticity and heart?
Wow. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the most important thing, Dan. You work for your audience, right? Not for the people who pay you directly. You work for the people who watch you, but you can't suck up too badly. You have to amuse yourself first. If you're genuinely curious, if you genuinely give a damn, then the audience hopefully will come along with you. If they do, they'll stick with you forever. If they don't, you'll know it in a hurry. But look, don't feel bad about ripping me off. I ripped off George Plimpton. Dirty Jobs, I just looked at what George Plimpton and Studs Terkel and Charles Kuralt did and just took it, right? There's no such thing as a new idea. With the way I heard it, I just took what Paul Harvey did, the rest of the story. And that's what this movie is. So don't make yourself crazy trying to come up with a new idea. There's no such thing. Look to history. Find something nobody's done in a while. Then do it better.
Mike Rowe, you are a hero. Make sure you watch Something to Stand For, coming to theaters nationwide on June 27th. For more information, you can watch the trailer and visit somethingtostandfor.movie. And don't miss it. It's kind of the journey through America's untold stories. Mike Rowe, pleasure to have you here today, my friend.
Dan, you flatter me. Good luck in the next thing you steal.